This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, your host, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Cool venue today in the bowels of Marks Tennis Stadium at USC as the USC Women of Troy are taking on the Wisconsin Badgers just about 15 feet away from me. Still going on, but enough time to jump in here and talk to you guys about this tough loss by the Dodgers today at Citizens Bank in Philadelphia. A game that really they probably could have and should have won, but the pitching just let them down today on many different levels. So we'll get into that. We'll get into the high points and the low points of this one, as we do in every Dodgers postcast here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. We come on right after the game and break it down for you. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Well, this one started nice with Teoscar Hernandez homering in the first, his third of the year, a 352-footer on a 1-1 sinker, came right down Main Street. He poked it out to right field. Edman scored on the homer after singling after an over day yesterday, which broke his hitting streak for the 2025 season. He's just been red hot for the Dodgers and was again today. Teoscar put the team on his back and did everything in his power to win this game. Like single-handedly pretty much should have won the game by himself if it wasn't for that Alex Vesia grand slam home run to my favorite douche, Nick Castellanos. Just not a fan of that guy on many different levels, especially when he does things like this, a grand slam home run to propel his team to victory. 8-7 the final today as the Phillies win the series. It's now their fourth consecutive series win against the Dodgers. I don't really put it on Vesia completely because when you get right down to it, I think what we'll be talking about today is the performance of Tyler Glasnow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Glasnow just didn't have it, which is a little surprising after his first few outings where he has really been pretty dominant. 5 runs on 5 hits. I'm sorry, 5 runs on 2 hits because he was charged with the grand slam that Vesia gave up. But it really felt like he was just out of sorts today because of the weather and the mound, and there was mud and he couldn't get good footing and just didn't have command. Too many walks in the third inning, bases loaded, no outs on 4 walks and a cheap base hit. And then Harper hit a bloop, wild pitch. So just a lot of things going against the Dodgers. And it's really surprising. I know some days you're just off, but you feel like dealing with the adversity of a muddy mound and the weather not being right is not enough to throw you that far off your game. He only had 2 Ks and 2 innings when it was all said and done before they brought Vesia in, who surrendered the grand slam to Castellanos. Vesia gave up 1 run on 2 hits on 18 pitches. Glasnow's ERA now 6.43. So I think that's kind of one of the bigger stories of this game from a negative perspective. From a positive perspective, it's Teoscar Hernandez without a doubt.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, Teo is the man for the Dodgers today. 2 home runs, again, his third in the first and then his fourth in the 4th inning. That was another 350-yarder or footer. Yeah, 350-footer. The first one went 352. This one went 357. Both of them to right field. Another sinker that made it 6-3 and really kept the Dodgers relevant. Kept them clawing away at this game. They just kept grinding in the 7th, which was really the most exciting and fun part of this game for the Dodgers. Pages finally got on base, broke an 0 for 18 slump with a base hit on a ball down and away. Still too big a swing for that pitch, but it worked out. He got on base. And then Ohtani with a walk, and Mookie doubled off the wall on a fastball up. And then Teo hit a sac fly, which was his fifth of the day, fifth RBI rather, to tie the game at 6. He now leads the league, or tied with Kyle Tucker for RBIs after the 5 RBI day. So the Dodgers at that point, because next up was Will Smith, game tied at 6. Will Smith with the runner at the four-seamer to right field, which gave the Dodgers the 7-6 lead. And with the way the bullpen has been performing, you thought, all right, this is exactly where we want to be, and all is well. Blake has been good. Blake came in and did not take care of business. 2 on, no outs, ground ball with eyes from Stott, squeaked through the right side. That tied the game at 7. And then the fielder's choice double play. I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know how you look at that, and you can't feel too bad about it. Everybody did exactly what you would want them to do and how you would want them to perform in that situation. Hard ground ball to Muncy at third base, rolled the double play. Tommy Edman's turn was perfection, and the runner just beat it out. That's all it boils down to, by a half step or less. And that gave them the lead, and that would be all that they need. In the top of the 9th for the Dodgers, maybe that was the bottom of the 8th, rather, Kike made a super nice play at first base to get that double play to keep it at a 1-run lead, where he turned a double play, stepped on the base at first, fired to home, and Will Smith tagged the runner out to keep it a 1-run game and give the Dodgers an opportunity. And with Shohei coming up, you feel pretty good about things, but Shohei did not have a good day. In a bit of a slump, to say the least. We'll talk about that after the break. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Don't forget, as our new format here for the Dodgers postcast is 15 to 17 minutes, quick, fast, and in a hurry. We get to it, we bang it out, and let you go back to your business. If you want a more in-depth examination of this game or what's going on with the Dodgers, make sure you check out Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Just Ingredients. When it comes to fueling your body, quality matters. That's why Just Ingredients is changing their game with clean, high-quality products designed to support better health and peak performance. Just Ingredients offers an NSF-certified line of protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure they're free from substances banned by major athletic organizations. Just Ingredients has also partnered with 2-time MVP Bryce Harper, who trusts their NSF-certified sports line to fuel training and recovery. Visit justingredients.us and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for 20% off. And for more wellness tips, follow just.ingredients on Instagram. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast also brought to you by Game Time. I'm a big fan of the Game Time app when it comes to getting tickets at a bargain. This is the app you need to have on your phone. There's nothing better than catching a Major League Baseball game live. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the smell of the ballpark food, that first sight of the green grass as you're walking down to your seats. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier and definitely more affordable. With last minute deals, all-in pricing, and low price guarantee, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as the game gets closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal the longer you wait. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On, and as the insert upcoming regular season game, as the Dodgers hit the road and head on down to Washington, D.C., or it's up, I guess, because they're in Philly. So up and over a little bit. I can count on them to help grab tickets that meet my needs, although I'm here in LA and not in DC. So it's not really meeting my needs. But I'll tell you this, when I do need tickets to go to a game with the family, not for work, I go to Game Time first, because I know that's where I'm going to get the best deal. And with their views from the seat, you know exactly what you're getting. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets with the lowest prices guaranteed. So the Dodgers come up just one short. Again, they've now dropped 4 series in a row to the Philadelphia Phillies. 8-7 the final. Shohei Ohtani, as I said going into the break, another off day for him, batting .268. 0 for 4 and 3 Ks. He just didn't look good at the plate. He looked off balance. He looked like he was pressing. He that thing that frustrates me when Shohei is just a tad bit off, where he pulls out his right side and he just flails at balls that are either way too far outside. In this case, on that third K, when he got the hat trick, the ball was just way too inside on him. And I guess pulling your hip out of the way in that particular instance is a little helpful, but he wasn't even close. His head was way off the ball. He just didn't look in sync. The good news about Shohei Ohtani, I think he has proven to all of us, and we're not worried about this little slump that he's in, but I think he has proven that he can turn that ugliness, that awkward, off-balance swing around in a day. Like tomorrow, I think they play tomorrow. Tomorrow in DC, he could be on point, yakking balls out of the yard, and we wouldn't be the least bit surprised. So that is the good news about Shohei Ohtani. He can't hit game-winning home runs every day and night for the Dodgers. There are going to be nights where it's just not his night, and that was tonight or today, as it was an early start on a getaway day for the Dodgers. 0 for 4 for Ohtani, but Mookie Betts had a nice day, 2 for 5. Had the RBI double in that big 7th inning for the Dodgers. So that was his only RBI of the day to go with 2 Ks. He's now batting .313 with a slug of .625. Tommy Edman starts up another hitting streak after it went 0 for yesterday. He was 1 for 5 today, batting .250 with a .591 slug. Teo, after the 3-hit day with 5 RBI and 2 home runs. Again, those 5 RBI add to his total, and he now is tied for the league lead in RBI with Kyle Tucker. He's batting .268 with a .634 slug. Look at these slugs. Will Smith slugging it at .615 with a .423 average, a pair of hits today, including an RBI. Conforto was 0 for, Muncy was 0 for, Kike was 0 for, and Andy Pias, as we said, 1 for 4 with 1 run scored, batting .118 with a slug of .147. So I come away from this game disappointed that the Dodgers lost. I feel like they could have won this game. It would have been really nice. Ultimately, we're not worried. 9-2 is a good place to be. It doesn't feel like the Dodgers are in any sort of slump. The Phillies are a good team, and we need to give credit where credit is due to the Phillies starter, Sanchez. He was on point today, hitting spots, hitting corners. He was dealing 5 2/3. Although he did give up 4 runs on 6 hits, he struck out 9 Dodgers, and I think that was a big part of the struggle for them early, is he was just locked in. Ruiz came in after that for a third of an inning. Zeros across the board. They got to Romano, and who else did they get to? That was about it there. That's where they got most of their runs. Charged to Sanchez and 3 off of Romano. After Glasnow left the game for the Dodgers, Vesia gave up 1 run on 2 hits, including the grand slam, which was charged to Glasnow. But Dreyer looked really good. 4 Ks over 2 1/3, 2 walks in that outing for him. Kirby Yates came in for 2/3 of an inning, 1 K, zeros across the board. As we mentioned, Trinan gave up 2 on 2 hits, and then Garcia in the 9th walked 3. The rest zeros, did not give up a run. So a decent pitching performance after Glasnow left, but really that's where the beginning of the end was, and Blake Trinan left the barn door open, and all the cows got out. But just ultimately, I think another big problem for the Dodgers today that is something they need to clean up is walks. Just too many, 11 walks. It's just too many. You look on the other side of the ledger, the Phillies had 2. You can't have 11 walks and expect to win games. You can't put that kind of pressure on your offense. It's just too much. So at the end of the day, they're fine. 9-2. Would have liked to won this series in Philadelphia. Always want to beat the Phils. Always want to beat any team from Philadelphia. But the fact is that, they're a good team. They played well today. The Dodgers had their chances. They were right in it. Samuel says Dodger pitchers struggling to throw strikes so far this year. It's a fair point. I don't know that it's terrible, but yeah, there have been some times where you're again, too many walks. 11 walks is just too many. BC says at least the offense wasn't embarrassing. When was it embarrassing, BC? I'm not remembering the Dodgers offense being embarrassing. A couple of nights ago, I guess on Friday, they weren't great. But that was, again, defensive issues, pass balls. Today, more wild pitches. I still feel like it's early in the season and they're trying to clean things up, tighten things up, get back on track. And the fact is that those kind of things happen at the beginning of the season. The good news is the Dodgers have a very potent, powerful offense, and let's not rely on that all year. Let's not put all of our eggs in that basket. The pitching is also very good. The bullpen is the best bullpen we've seen for the Dodgers in a long, long time. So they're still trying to find their way, get comfortable into this regular season. I'm not the least bit worried. Again, really would have liked to have beaten those freaking Phillies, but it wasn't to be. But a fun game. 8-7 the final. Teoscar Hernandez with 5 RBI. 2 home runs, and he is on fire. Let's hope that keeps going. Again, Dodgers lose 8-7. They are off to DC to face the Nats, which is today is what? Yeah, it's tomorrow, the 7th. In DC, Nats come in with a 3-6 record, 3-3 at home. They'll get underway at 3:45. It'll be Dustin May versus Mackenzie Gore. And of course, we'll be right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel to break it down for you with the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince tomorrow or late tonight with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast as they give you a more in-depth look at what's going on in the Dodger universe. I'm Pete Fox. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the comments. Enjoy the rest of your night. We will talk on Monday night, tomorrow night. Have a good night.